Tonight from Cassell Coliseum, all eyes in the ACC will be in Southwest Virginia as number 10 NC State, number 14 Virginia Tech wrestle for an ACC dual meet championship. Hello everybody and welcome in Matt Side on ACC Network Extra alongside former national champion at Iowa, Darrell Weber. I'm Evan Hughes, and Darrell, both of these teams have been working towards this moment all season. We're going to be seeing some great wrestling tonight.
Yeah, as a coach and wrestler, it doesn't get any more exciting than this. And this type of environment is a great primer going into the postseason, going into the ACC championship and the NCAA championships.
Well, taking a look at some of the implications tonight, here is what you need to know. For NC State to win the ACC dual meet championship, all they need is a win over Virginia Tech. But for the Hokies, if they win, they clinch at least a share.
Yeah, you can see the top three teams there all have one loss. You know, there's such great parity in the ACC right now, and it just makes everybody a little bit tougher. They got to stay sharp, so it's great for the conference.
And going back to last year, the regular season finale, it came down to that to decide the dual meet champion. And NC State got out to an early lead thanks to Sean Fowles at 125. The back part of text line of McFadden, Bolin, Zavatsky, and Haught helped. But then at heavyweight, Boykin over Dunn's son Victor gave NC State the title.
Yeah, for the fans, it doesn't get any better than that. The coaches, they want to lock it up a little bit sooner. They want to dominate a little bit more. But if we get anything like that tonight, it's going to be very exciting in here.
It is a great turnout tonight inside Cassell Coliseum. As we take a look at the full lineup tonight, obviously all eyes will be on 184 with Reenan and Zavatsky, but what else stands out to you about the lineup?
What really stands out to me is on paper, there's really no blowouts that I see, so we could be in for a lot of good matchups. I think it's going to come down to, who gets the bonus points, who maybe gets the upset. There might be an unlikely hero that comes out of this comes out of tonight and it really wins the match for somebody.
And taking a look at our impact matchup tonight, it's actually where we'll lead off due to the draw. 184, third-ranked Nick Reenan of North Carolina State, fifth-ranked Zach Zavatsky. He's celebrating senior night tonight. This is going to be a great way to start this off.
This is a great matchup to start the night with, and this is a big match for both of them individually. Because they're most likely they're going to see themselves at the ACC championship tournament, maybe at the nationals. So it's going to be really important for one of them to come out and kind of set the stage, set the tone for that matchup for the rest of the year.
And taking a look at the coaching staff of North Carolina State, they're led by Pat Papalizio of Oklahoma State, a 2001 graduate, 101-27 record in his 7th season with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Coach Papalizio's done an excellent job. He's a tremendous promoter of the sport. He creates a lot of excitement around the program, and obviously he's doing a great job of developing and recruiting athletes as well.
And meanwhile for Virginia Tech, head coach Tony Roby, who's been inside this Virginia Tech wrestling program for quite some time. What a job he's done.
He's done an awesome job. They're not just in it to win matches. They're developing character and great athletes that lead this program.
Wolfpack and the Hokies, what a matchup it was last year in North Carolina. This year, we are in Blacksburg. We're glad you're with us on ACC Network Extra. Again, alongside Darrell Weber, Evan Hughes. We are underway at 184. Reenan coming into this matchup. He's 12-2 on the year.
Reenan going for the headlock right away.
What a great early start for
Reenan.
Takedown.
And then we've got the reversal for Zavatsky.
Sometimes we see wrestlers feel it out in the first period, not even about 30 seconds in.
No, Reenan, he went right into his – he must be pretty comfortable in the upper body. He went right for that upper body. Doesn't look like he got any back points, though, so it's 2-2.
When looking at Zavatsky last Friday against Cornell, one of the top wrestling programs in the country, they did a random draw, and they started with Zavatsky, who was ranked 3rd at the time. He fell 8-0. So he'll get a chance again to lead things off this week. What do you think he can learn from that?
Well, hopefully he learns a lot from it. Sometimes, you come out that first match and you can be a little bit slow. Maybe you don't feel good off the scale. But as a wrestler, and especially as it gets closer to the postseason, you need to learn from those. People make mistakes, but you got to learn from those and fix things so it doesn't happen again. And he got the reversal here, and he's going for the turn. He was going for the bent leg Turk there just a little bit ago. He's keeping a lot of good forward pressure on Reenan. He's going for that Turk again.
He's 3 seconds away from clinching a minute in riding time.
Potentially dangerous position.
You see the Virginia Tech coaching staff and Tony Roby, all 3 coaches actually off the bench. And Tony Roby wanting an explanation. What'd you see there, Daryl?
Well, I mean, there's potential to get injury there. There's a potential injury there, but it didn't look that dangerous. I mean, he's got that knee wrapped up pretty good. There might be an injury going into this match a little bit, too. He might be dealing with something.
So Zavatsky over a minute in riding time, climbing at a minute 10.
Urinen's, he's got to work to get up off of his belly there. Zavatsky's doing a good job of keeping his toes dug into the mat and keeping a lot of forward pressure from the top position. He might need to get off to the side and work like he is right there.
Zavatsky and Reenen again, our marquee matchup of the night, starting at 184. Zavatsky, an All-American last year,
goes for the switch. Reenen, but he gets stopped.
And a lot of action in the first 30 seconds, but right now it's just been Zavatsky on top, kind of controlling.
Yeah, Reenen, he went upper body right away, kind of gunslinging, got some action going.
And stalling.
Yeah, he's got to keep his head off the mat, and he's got to work off that belly.
And that is something we've seen this year from referees, very quick to call stallings.
Yeah, that's good for the sport, I think. It creates more action. It kind of forces the action. Zavatsky's over 2 minutes riding time here at the end of the first period as well.
Now let's take a look at this quick takedown and then the reversal, because we started this thing off with a bang.
Yeah, he went right out and he went for that cross-side headlock. Zavatsky fought off with it really good. Didn't give up any back points.
And Zavatsky celebrating.
Zavatsky to his feet and escapes real quick. That's a good sign.
Zavatsky picking up win number 100 in his career against Duke earlier this year, again celebrating senior day. And for Coach Roby, I'm sure having someone like Zavatsky in the program has been very beneficial to Virginia Tech wrestling.
Yeah, I'm sure he joined an elite group with over 100 wins in that program as well.
And then Reenen, this year he's wrestled a lot of top talent. Miles Martin ranked first of Ohio State. He fell 12-5. Wrestled Nino Bonacorsi of Pitt. But he's the reigning ACC Wrestler of the Week, and he's made big jumps from his freshman to sophomore campaign.
Both guys just kind of working the head right now, not creating a lot of action. But there goes an ankle pick up to the single leg by Reenen. Zavatsky's trying to cut him back.
And Zavatsky turning some defense potentially into offense. And there it is. Zach Zavatsky going ahead 5-2.
Shows a lot of athleticism on Zavatsky. Reenen had got him down at the ankle, below the knee. That's usually tough to defend. Worked up to the single leg, but then he scrambled out of it.
They're close to maybe wrestling off the mat. Under 30 seconds left in the second period. And he's nearing 3 minutes of riding time. And that'll be tough for Reenen to try and erase.
Yeah, that can do a lot mentally, too. When you rack up the riding time, the bottom guy, it takes a toll on you mentally.
We take another look at.
Yeah, he goes for the cut back there. That gets him to let go of the leg, and then he's able to defend him with his hips and get behind and score the point. Score the takedown.
So right now, if you're Nick Reenen, you start things off aggressively. Down 5-2, potentially 6-2. What can he do differently here?
I mean, he's just got to focus on scoring the next point. He's got to get his escape, get a reversal, and then keep going from there. That situation.
5-2, Zavatsky leads going to the third period. You see Zavatsky again last Friday starting randomly at 184, lost 9-0, a major decision win for Max Dean. Bounced back the next day at the Moss Art Center in 18-3. Tech fall over Drew Peck. Let's talk about a 24-hour swing, really flipping the switch.
I'm sure the coaches were happy to see that turnaround, not see him kind of stay down about that match. he bounced back real quick. That's a good sign. And it looks like he's feeling good in this match. It looks like maybe he learned something. Maybe he's changed his routine a little bit, and that's what you got to do. You don't want those type of matches to show up the first round at the NCAA tournament, so it's good to get those out of the way and learn something before they really matter.
Minute 15 to go. And the stalemate's called. As a shot.
I'm sure the Tech coaches probably want Zavatsky to kind of smell a major decision even here. He's got time to get a couple takedowns, and Reenan, obviously he's got to get something going. He's just got to get a takedown, get the ball rolling in his favor.
Well, that's one thing we talked about before the duel started, was that bonus points could be huge in determining the winner of tonight's duel.
Yeah, when you're in that position, you got to kind of smell the blood and try to make it happen.
42 seconds.
Well, he's going back upper body here, Reenan. Zach clears out of it, though. Reenan's pretty comfortable in that upper body situation. You can tell he wrestles there a lot. It's kind of his sweet spot.
20 seconds. Not a lot of offense here in this period, and Reenan's got to get going with 15. Zach Zavatsky went down early 2-0, and here on his senior night with the ACC Dual Meet Championship on the line, he'll pick up a 6-2 decision over Nick Reenan as he flexes his muscles to the crowd. Hokies go ahead 3-0 as we step aside for a break. You're watching ACC Network Extra live from Cassell Coliseum. Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum on the campus of Virginia Tech, where this dual meet has lived up to all of the hype so far. What an entertaining 184 match we had. And really, you go through this series history, North Carolina State and Virginia Tech, in a lot of ways, Daryl, has turned into the ultimate rivalry, so to speak, in the ACC.
Oh, yeah, they've got a great rivalry going, and it creates a lot of excitement for the ACC and just the sport overall, nationwide. I'm sure there's a lot of people following this match across the nation, no matter what conference they root for, typically.
So at 197, we'll see Tom Slay, a redshirt senior and a graduate transfer from Bucknell. Again, he's ranked 9th, going up against the redshirt senior Malik McDonald of North Carolina State. McDonald's 15-8 on the year, 9-7 in duels. And meanwhile, Slay, he missed last weekend due to injury, so he is back after missing the duels against Cornell and UVA.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech, they want Slay. I'd say on paper he's a slight favorite. They want to see him keep the ball rolling. Zavatsky came out here and got things going with the big win, and NC State, they want to see McDonald get some points on the board for him.
And Daryl, even though that was a 5-3 matchup, Zavatsky and Reenan, is that a matchup as a coach where you honestly kind of call it as a toss-up, not expecting one thing or the other?
Definitely, it's definitely a toss-up, that first match, yeah.
There's McDonald's.
McDonald's in a takedown right away.
Yeah, in on a double-leg shot. And a nice start for the redshirt senior from Hope Mills, North Carolina. He was a heavyweight last season, now back to 197. So through his career, he's kind of been back and forth.
Slay right to his feet now.
A nice escape there for the redshirt senior. McDonald has won 6 of his last 9 matches. He's posted back-to-back 20-win seasons at different weight classes. Again, 197 to heavyweight. So even though he's not ranked as a redshirt senior, you've got a guy with a lot of experience in the back part of your lineup.
Donald goes for a snap to a double, misses at that time. Just a little bit of hand fighting going on right now, trying to set something up. We have 45 seconds left the first period. McDonald slips into an underhook there. kind of a half shot.
40 seconds left.
Donald back in again.
There. Seems like McDonald's come out and been a little more aggressive on the offensive end.
He's definitely the aggressor at this point. He's got that takedown. He's been close to the legs a couple more times.
17 seconds here at 197. If you're just joining us, started at a draw at 184. Zavansky a 6-2 decision, as does McDonald.
McDonald's doing a good job working the head. He's really heavy on the head that whole first period. And even if you're not scoring, that can set the stage for later in the match or wear a guy out.
As we take a look at the matchup between these two, both of them with 15-plus wins, and almost kind of similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, very similar records. This is probably considered a toss-up match for the duel.
And again,
these are the ones you got to get in a tight duel like this.
And especially with the fact that Slay is, missed last weekend, and McDonald's won 6 of his last 9. He's coming in with confidence.
Yeah.
Speaking of confidence, Slay.
Nice mat return there. That's what you want to see out of your wrestlers. Guy stands up, you want a good lift and return.
Slay erases the 15 seconds of riding time, now climbing up his own at 8 seconds.
And McDonald, he keeps coming to his feet. It's a good return. McDonald's doing a good job of continually coming back up, though. Hustling back to the middle.
McDonald, a 2017 NCAA qualifier, is a redshirt sophomore at 197, and of course Slay has seen his own fair share of NCAA tournament appearances, transferring in from Bucknell. Coach Tony Roby going out and getting 3 guys coming in the lineup. 2 from Edinboro, 1 from Bucknell.
Yeah, they were busy in the offseason.
See, Slay has his left leg wrapped around the right of McDonald.
Got his right leg in there, and I slipped it out. So he's doing a good job of controlling from the top position. McDonald was coming to his feet, which you want to see, but he's doing a good job of getting that return. That's tough wrestling right there. That's good hard-nosed wrestling for both guys, really.
I'm sure that's what you'd expect out of 2 redshirt seniors as well.
Definitely, yeah. They're seasoned. They've been around the block. They know what it takes to win. So
now, as you see on the screen just a moment ago, riding time climbing at 1:12 for Slay.
30 seconds left in the period. This is a big 30 seconds right here. If he keeps him down, that's big for the score. If he can get out, if McDonald can get out, that's going to do him a lot of good.
It's riding time now over 90 seconds.
Slay's right in parallel right there. He's keeping a lot of good forward pressure. Called bottom man for stalling there.
Yep. So 184 was a great one, and here's 197. As we take a look at a couple of returns.
Yeah, those are pretty. That's good hard-nosed wrestling right there. Good lift and return. Too many wrestlers just let their opponent go. If you want to win those close, tough, tight matches, you got to be able to get back down.
So McDonald will let Slay escape. That ties it at 2.
McDonald's moving well on his feet.
He's in on a shot potentially. Tries again and
little shuck by. Slay's got to get some more motion going. McDonald's moving, snapping the head. There goes Slay. He attacks with an underhook, take control of the tie-ups. These guys got to use those tie-ups and those setups to get to those legs. There's a lot of motion there. See, he's getting him to react. McDonald's getting Slay to react. He's trying to get to those. He's through the hips. He fights it out. That's good defense right there. That's good, solid defense with the hips.
Yeah, both of these wrestlers showcasing their defense.
Yes. Slay's in an underhook. See, you want to if you can get that underhook like he has on his right hand, you want to use that. You want to capitalize on it because you've got an advantage in the hand fighting right there.
Under a minute to go. Keep in mind, riding time sits with Slay at 1:42. McDonald nearly in on a single leg shot.
Downs go for a shuck, and he goes for a post up. Slay got hit for stalling. They each have a stall warning right now. Slay with the front headlock. He's got to pull him down there. Tries to cut the corner, spin around the corner, but McDonald stops him. Squaring up.
10 seconds left in this third period.
That's not a good position for McDonald with 10 seconds left.
And off the mat with .7. Well, this was another one you mentioned could be a toss-up.
Yeah, this is going to be a big match in the dual meet.
And that'll do it with the riding time. Tom Slay, a 3-2 decision over Malik McDonald in Virginia Tech. Out to a 6-0 lead in the team score. When we come back, the heavyweight matchup, you're watching college wrestling on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to one of the top duels in the country this Friday evening. Virginia Tech leading North Carolina State 6-0. Again, alongside former national champ Darrell Weber, Evan Hughes along with you for the call as we get ready to go to heavyweights. And of course, last year, this weight class meant so much to deciding who would win the ACC Dual Meet Championship. But two different kind of wrestlers, a redshirt senior, a graduate, Miller for Tech, and then a true freshman, Lawler, for NC State.
Yeah, we got two new faces, but this is still a big match. You know, Tech has won two close ones thus far, but I'm telling you, I think every one of these matches could have big implications. You know, nothing's settled yet, so these two new faces still have. This is an important match.
Well, there's no doubt, you know, looking at the lineups, while both teams very talented top to bottom, that NC State definitely a little more top-heavy in their lineup, and Virginia Tech a little more back-heavy. So Miller also celebrating senior day today, the redshirt senior from Perry, Ohio. He's currently ranked 20th. 12-6 on the year. 8-3 in duels. And meanwhile, Lawler, 15-10. He's 0-5 in duels. Freshman from Houston, Texas. But he went 36-0 his senior year. All wins coming by pin.
Oh, there's a good cross ankle pick from the front headlock. It's a good takedown.
Miller, a takedown. Just not even a minute into this first period to go ahead 2-0.
Yeah, Miller, redshirt senior, you know, he's been around. That's a good pickup from Coach Roby in the offseason. Miller lets him go. Feels comfortable on his feet.
Well, we saw Coach Tony Roby, again, those three transfers, including Myers at 133, Miller, both from Edinboro. That's where he went to school himself. Right. And Virginia Tech actually wrestled Edinboro last year.
Yeah, Edinboro went through a coaching change, too.
And Miller, a three-time NCAA qualifier there, of course, trying to make it 4 for 4. And going back again, we mentioned this in the open, but you go back to last year's regular season finale. Virginia Tech at NC State, the winner takes the dual meet championship, very similar to tonight. Came down to heavyweight, 19th ranked Michael Boykin, a 2-1 Sun victory overtime decision over Andrew Dunn to clinch the dual championship. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Not only coming down the wire in a duel, but for the championship. I mean, you talk about evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing could happen tonight at 174.
That would be David McFadden and Daniel Bullard.
There's another single leg.
Miller thought about potentially kicking the other leg.
He's moving him. That's key to keep the guy moving.
Lawler fighting hard.
On the edge. If he can secure that other leg, he'll have two.
And there it is, just before they head off the mat. Takedown to go ahead 4-1.
About 20 seconds left. First period. This is important right here. You want to keep him down for this last 20 seconds. This is a big escape. If Lawler can get out. These are positions you practice specifically in the practice room to be able to keep guys down the last 20 seconds, not let them go, give them that cheap point. Same thing for the bottom guy. It's important for them to get out.
Looks to be in a good position off the start. As he wraps his right leg on the inside of Lawler.
Oh, he's got the cradle, going for a cross-side cradle. Lawler hits a roll for his leg defense. Looks like Miller's going to hold on, though, top position. Lawler almost got out.
We take a look at that takedown for Miller.
This is key right here. Miller does a good, well, before this, he was moving him very well, and then he's got to secure that leg before they get out of bounds. Those are big points on the edge of the mat like that. .45 seconds riding time, 4-1 Miller right now.
Miller had a good week last weekend at home for Virginia Tech. You go back to that Cornell duel, a 4-3 decision over Jeremy Sweeney, who really wrestled him well at heavyweight, but then against UVA, that 30-6 win for Virginia Tech, 4-1 decision over Tyler Love of UVA, who we had a 12-3 major on earlier in the year when Virginia and Virginia Tech met at the Virginia Duels Championship down in the 7-5-7. In both of these teams, really, you look at the non-conference slate, and of course the ACC, have really wrestled a lot of top-tier opponents. I mean, NC State wrestling Ohio State. I mean, can't ask for a tougher schedule.
Yeah. These guys get out and see great competition throughout the year, which is key if you want to compete at the national with all the big dogs.
Miller well over a minute in riding time. As you see on your screen, they're climbing at a 1:45.
That's no doubt why these two programs have gotten a trophy at the NCAA tournament in the past several years as well.
Of course, Virginia Tech 6 straight NCAA top 10 finishes, and North Carolina State 8 NCAA titles. I mean, just two storied programs. A stalemate's called with 38 seconds left. By the way,
over 2 minutes riding time, 38 seconds left, second period.
And then coming up on deck, really, North Carolina State, you're going to see a lot of the strength of their team. Fouls at 125, Wilson at 133. All people are going to have their eyes on him as he returns from injury. As an escape granted to Lawler, cuts the deficit to 2.
30 seconds left.
Again, Colin Lawler 0-5 in duels, but he's competing here with Miller ranked 20th. What has he done? As Miller's in on a single leg shot.
Nice high crotch right there. Beautiful finish.
With the takedown.
Miller's showing what a veteran he is. He's really managing this match well. He got the takedown at the end of the first period on the edge of the mat, kept him down. Lawler got out with 30 seconds left in the second period, and he gets this beautiful takedown. This is a beautiful high crotch to it.
Yeah, let's take a look at the exclamation point on the second period.
Takes him off his feet for the finish. It's hard to defend when you get a guy off the feet like that.
Yep,
it's pretty. Heavyweights, too. You don't see that a whole lot.
Absolutely. Well, Miller had a terrific spin move in the heavyweight against Cornell. He spun off his opponent and then went for a single leg takedown. Yeah. And a lot of wrestling accounts love that because, again, with heavyweights, and
He's very athletic. Yeah.
Dave Maroney, who called it as a heavyweight himself, was saying that's just so impressive. You don't see that every day.
Maroney was athletic as well.
7-2 the score. And again, we talk about bonus points with the riding time at 2:22. Is this a match where Tech's got to be trying to think about that?
Definitely. I would be thinking about it right now, especially the way Miller's been managing this match. Miller's probably got to stay pretty athletic with Ty Walls in the room practice with him every day too.
Ty Walls and Coach Tony Roby's on a nice job putting together a coaching staff of Virginia Tech alums who have been in the program. And, of course, Ty Walls, one of the top alums of this program. Still wrestling himself.
Yeah, he's doing a great job internationally.
So here we go, under a minute to go.
Stall warning on Lawler.
Miller trying to get in deep, potentially.
This will make it a major if he can get the takedown and finish the match on top. Lawler's doing a good job of defending, though. Rolling through. He's got his ankles. Lawler's doing a good job of defending and kind of tangling him up there, keeping him from finishing that takedown.
Miller.
Nice.
Lawler doing a nice job
He's
here.
very athletic heavyweight.
And
Good
there's
finish.
2. And that is crucial, as you mentioned. This would put it into a major.
Yeah, if he keeps him down here for the last 20 seconds, that would be a major decision.
And this Virginia Tech faithful, probably about as loud as they have been the entire evening.
And that's, this is really setting the tone. Tech came out and won the first 2 close matches, gets major decision, bonus points in this match where they knew they probably had a chance to do that. This is big.
The redshirt senior on senior night picks up the major. Tech ahead 10-0 as we step aside for a break. When we come back, 125, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum. 3 matches down, 7 left to go, and Virginia Tech leading North Carolina State 10-0. But now we shift to 125, where we'll see one of the top wrestlers on either side tonight. And Sean Fowles ranked 11th, the defending ACC champ, a 3-time NCAA qualifier, going up against Joey Prada, who's been wrestling well at 125 for Tech.
Yeah, I'm sure the NC State coaches are looking for Fowles to get something going, maybe even get bonus points. But Prada, he's dropped a couple matches lately to very tough opponents, but he's been in their battle and keeping them close. So this could get interesting.
Yeah, you mentioned that with Joey Prada last week, going up against 8th-ranked Vitali Aruja of Cornell, a 4-2 decision win for Aruja. And then against UVA, one of their top wrestlers, Mueller, a 6-2 decision. That was the first time Mueller all season had not won by bonus points.
Really, wow.
But again, Fowles, the redshirt senior from Alexandria, Virginia. Prada, a redshirt sophomore from Richmond, Virginia.
There's a nice shot from Fowles right there.
Yep, and
he's going to look to come up with that.
And there's quickly 2 for Fowles. Again, this is the strength of NC State's lineup. Tariq Wilson ranked 7th on deck. You've got Justin Oliver and Hidley at 157.
Fowles has got some size for a 25-pounder too. He's a big 25-pounder. Looks really strong.
9-1 on the year. He's got 2 wins over ranked opponents. Zeke Moisley ranked 11th of Nebraska. Also the 18th ranked wrestler at the time at Purdue.
Working a claw. He's going to get back points with this claw right here.
He's got Prada right where he wants him early. And you pick up 2 on the back points. And one thing Tony Roby said about Prada while he's been wrestling well, he really wants to see him score more points offensively.
Fowles is one of those wrestlers that can be pretty dangerous. He's a senior. He's qualified for the national tournaments. Never got on the podium. He's qualified 3 times. So he's probably pretty hungry. His last shot, and it's important to go into that postseason. If you want to do well, go in and on a roll. So I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get out there and get rolling into the postseason.
He was the number 5 seed at 125 at the NCAA tournament a year ago, and you're right, he's been in position, hasn't come away with All-American status. But you're right, someone who could.
You've been doing it that long, and you've come that close. You're going to be pretty hungry that senior year.
Obviously, speaking of the NCAA tournament, a big year for ACC wrestling last year, especially at 197, where we saw Machiavello and Haught meet at 197 in the championship. That's a big deal for this conference.
Yeah, first time 2 ACC wrestlers ever met up in the national finals.
Fowles with a minute 45 of riding time, working towards 2 was Prada just in a tough spot. Sean Fowles.
You can tell Fowles is very tough in the top position. He keeps going for transitioning. If he doesn't get the one move, he goes to another. He's got some really solid series that he's working.
Another 2 on the back. And with the riding time right now, he's already working with a major. And you're right, you mentioned, you look at 125s, he's definitely a taller, maybe more lengthier 125 than you normally see.
Yeah, he looks really strong at the weight class.
He's 2-0 in ACC duels Fowles this year. 6-0 win over Louis Hayes of UVA, 133, one of their top wrestlers. And then Joe Heilman of UNC 7-2. The decision in that one. Ahead 6-0 at the end of one. Let's take a look at the most recent back points from Sean Fowles.
Yeah, he's working the half there. Prada does a good job of fighting off his back because those are some dangerous holds that Fowles is throwing there from the top position.
See Prada looking over to Coach Tony Roby. And if you're Prada, how do you try and climb back into this one?
Well, I think you've got to get something going from the top position here and at least take some steam out of him, show some dominance from the top position, keep him down. But ultimately, he's going to have to start scoring some points somehow.
You go back again to last year's regular season finale. Number 6 NC State, number 8 Virginia Tech. The winner wins the dual meet championship. It was Fowles who had a Tech Fall 15-0 win over Kyle Nordstrom. So he had a great deal of success against the Hokies last year.
15-0. He's a turner. He's got a lot of skills from the top position. That's a nice drag to a single leg. Prada does a great job of squaring up, clearing out of it. Ooh, nice shuck. Prada does a good job of scrambling out of that as well.
You see the NC State coaches jumping up wanting.
Prada with the front headlock here. He needs to use that, bring him down to the mat. Faust needs to clear out like he did. Yeah, I'm sure the NC State coaches want to see Faust continue to throw the points on the board and get some bonus points for him.
Prada blocks a shot with 43 seconds. But again, with riding time, he'd be looking at an 8-0 score at the moment. And this is probably exactly what NC State wanted and needed. You lose the first 3 matches, and this is the type of performance.
Yeah, but I'm sure they want him to keep throwing up some points. Prada's done a good job of kind of slowing things down this second period.
Eight seconds.
Ooh, that's a nice post up. See, Prada's keeping it fairly close, at least where he can stay out of the major range. You know, I mean, the NC State coaches, I'm sure, want to see Faust get a little bit more cushion on that major decision. Be going for the attack.
And on a shot is Fowles. Let's see if he can turn it into points.
He's going to circle backside finish. Has a nice finish.
And he does. And now he's got the major at the moment. Prada.
Nice little roll.
Bonus points, bonus points, bonus points. It can very much so decide this duel. And one thing head coach of Virginia Tech, Tony Roby's felt like his team needs to do in order to be successful at the ACC level and the NCAAs, win matches with bonus points.
Definitely. You want to have a mentality where you're continually scoring points, especially when it gets to the postseason, the ACC championships, the NCAA championships. The pressure can come on. You can start to play a little bit of head games with yourself, and you need to learn to just focus on scoring points when you're out there.
And keeping an eye on that North Carolina-Duke duel. 9-6 Tar Heels leading the Blue Devils. That's important because if Virginia Tech were to defeat North Carolina State, they would share the regular ACC dual meet championship. If Duke were to upset Carolina and Tech wins and they win it outright, and of course NC State win and you're in, essentially. You win outright.
Prada just got hit with the second stalling. Faust got a point from that.
There's over 4 minutes of riding time. As Sean Fowles last year, a 15-0 Tech Fall win over Nordstrom in the regular season finale. And here tonight, an 11-0 major decision over Joey Prada. NC State's on the board. They trailed 10-4. As we step aside for a break, when we come back, a ranked matchup, Myers-Wilson next on ACC Network Extra. Off and running inside Cassell Coliseum, where tonight we're going to crown an ACC dual meet champion. Tech leading NC State 10-4 on ACC Network Extra, and the Wolfpack have just been so successful over the last 4 years versus ranked teams. 20-8, you see that record, but maybe the most impressive stat, how about 10-5 in those matchups in duels outside of Raleigh? They get it done on the road.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Popolizio understands the importance of finding good competition if you want to compete with the top programs, and obviously he's out there challenging his athletes, and they're doing a good job when they're facing them. So that's huge for any programs to find that competition and learn to compete against those top programs.
So here we go to another highly anticipated match tonight at 133. 7th-ranked Tariq Wilson, 12-2 on the year, going up against 14th-ranked Corbin Myers, who's 15-6 on the year. And really a lot of eyes on Tariq Wilson, who has not wrestled since defaulting out of a match versus Ohio State on January the 6th. He did pick up a forfeit against Duke, but he is back healthy tonight. NC State has to love the fact he's back in the lineup. Yeah,
I'm sure they want to make sure he was healthy and get him in there and make sure he's ready for the postseason and represent him tonight. And he was actually in control. I watched that match against Ohio State. He was in control of that match. He was winning the match, and seemed like he tweaked his ankle or knee, but he's looking healthy right now. That's good.
As Myers has control of that left leg of Wilson. And speaking of Tariq Wilson, last year one of the stories of the NCAA tournament where he was he was unseeded, but he upset 3 top 5 seeds and was 24-2 in takedowns. He finished 3rd, so what a tournament for Wilson.
He got on a roll. He's a very exciting wrestler to watch when he gets going, when he's scoring points. He's got a lot of weapons. I remember watching that run at the NCAAs last year. It was quite impressive.
You see the matchup, very similar. And you mentioned this year, for Wilson, he defeated a 2018 All-American, Montori Bridges, who was ranked 12th at the time of Wyoming, 6'5" in the South Beach duels. And then how about this? Going up against Nebraska, Big Ten school, ranked 11th at the time. NC State was down 17-12, and it was Wilson who came up with a tech fall, and then with criteria gave NC State the win. So he's come up in clutch situations. But for Myers, this redshirt junior from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, transfer from Edinboro, as you see the athleticism from Wilson, and there's 2 awarded to him on the takedown.
Yeah, he adjusted very well on the finish there. Myers was going to try to cut the corner, and he cut him off with the pass.
Myers, a 2-time NCAA qualifier at Edinboro, maybe one of his biggest wins of the year here inside Cassell. Upset then number 2 Mickey Philippi of Pittsburgh, an opponent that he lost to in his high school state championship his senior year.
Oh, man.
Got him back. But he's been certainly a nice addition for Coach Roby at 133.
Oh, yeah.
2-0 the score after that takedown from Wilson.
Wilson, he's kind of long and lanky, and he knows how to use that leverage. He's keeping Myers' wrist trapped in the top position.
So far, Wilson, again, not wrestling since January. What have you seen from him right now? Doesn't seem like there's any limitations.
No, he's moving very well. He looks good to go. He was in a little bit of a tough position when Myers got in that single leg and didn't seem to phase him at all.
So he's working with over a minute of riding time, leading 2-0. We take a look at that takedown.
Yeah, you see Myers going to try to cut the corner, and he cut him off there. He brought that left hand up and stopped him.
Myers chooses bottom.
Up quick to his feet. Nice return. Now Myers wants to keep coming. See how Wilson keeps trapping that wrist. That's good riding.
Riding time over a minute 40. You know, when Wilson also getting it done on the international stage. He was 2-0 with the U23 World Team in trials this year before having to default due to injury. No doubt a redshirt sophomore. You can only imagine the next 2 years what he can accomplish.
Yeah, that's a great experience when those guys get to go to those tournaments in the offseason. They qualify for them. They train with the best guys in the country. You can make some huge gains.
And we've seen Hayden Hiley at 157 for NC State, a part of the U23 team. Of course, Makai Lewis, also for Virginia Tech, winning.
Yeah, it's no coincidence these programs are getting better and better. They have been good for a while, and their kids are getting on those teams. You know, their coaches are pushing them to train in the offseason with the best guys and compete against the best guys. That's key. That's key at the high school level, the college level.
So 2-0, and right now we've touched on Wilson, but if you're Corbin Myers, what can you try and do differently here with the third period coming up?
He's got to get to his feet, and he's got to get out of there. He's got to keep his wrist control. Wilson's doing a good job of tying up those wrists, keeping forward pressure, and just keeping his head on the mat. He's keeping Myers' head on the mat. He's got to clear those wrists, keep hand control, get to his feet. That's often easier said than done, though.
Now 2 for the second period. No scoring, but again, that riding time at 3:12. And Tariq Wilson looking like his normal self here in his return. He'll choose bottom. Myers
Wilson
trying not to let him escape.
Drops down to the single leg. He's still in control. Now he's got to work up off of that. See the referee counting. Give him the stall call for not working off of that single leg there.
So stall warning. And if you're just joining us, Virginia Tech, we started with a draw at 184. Wins there at 197 in heavyweight, but then fouls a major decision. And right now, Wilson
with good hand control. He's to his feet, staying low. He's going to get out. He's coming right back at him.
grabs the escape, and Myers needs to generate some offense.
Minute 10 left the third period. Wilson with the fake there. He's keeping Myers off balance. Is it to the face?
Looks like that is indeed the call. That's a new rule change this year, and one that we've seen called quite frequently this year. The referee's doing a great job of enforcing it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentionally in the face. He's trying to keep him at bay though. There's only 25 seconds left. Ooh, to the body. That's a great adjustment there.
Putting the exclamation point here on this third period. Tariq Wilson, one of the more talented wrestlers you'll find in the ACC, someone who plans to make a lot of noise in Pittsburgh this year.
Yeah, he's got
a
lot of great skills.
Pick up a 6-1 decision with riding time over Corbin Myers. The redshirt sophomore comes back from injury and puts NC State within 3 against Virginia Tech. As we step aside for a break, when we come back, 141, Mitch Moore, Jamel Morris on ACC Network Extra live from Cassell Coliseum. Welcome back live on ACC Network Extra to Cassell Coliseum, one of the top tools in the country. Tech leading NC State 10-7. Again, glad you could be with us alongside Daryl Weber, Evan Hughes, and Daryl, this at 141. you look at how the lineup will shake out the rest of the way, could be very important. This is almost a swing matchup.
This is definitely a toss-up match. You know, both of these guys have a lot of skill and a lot of tools, and this is going to be a big one for determining the outcome of the duel, I believe.
We saw Jamel Morris there, 6-0 since being moved to 141. And the matchup today, I mean, both of these guys, even though they're unranked, wrestling at a very high level.
Yeah, I mean, their records are nearly the same. Morris got some more bonus points, but Moore's got a lot of pins there. He's a pinner.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Mitch Moore has 9 falls on the year. That's the most in a single season since Hokies assistant Devin Carter had 11 in 2011 and 12. But the freshman against UVA.
He's going for that front headlock cross ankle pick. They both look pretty explosive.
And both, Moore being a freshman from St. Paris, Ohio. Morris is a redshirt senior from Fort Lauderdale. But Moore, you go back to that UVA matchup at the Moss Arts Center, that duel. He started things off at 141 with a draw, a 17-0 Tech fall over Sam Kribas.
Ooh.
And then also wrestled well against Cornell, that is, Mitch Moore, at 141. He wrestled, of course, Yanni Diakomahalis, the reigning national champ. 6-1 decision.
Yeah, that's tough. Diakomahalis he's very good.
Yes. Early on here, you can see
Morse trying to go upper body. He looks pretty comfortable up there. He's trying to force some upper body situations.
Morse, 7 of his 9 pins have also come in the first period. So you can see his aggressiveness in the first period. But right now, not a lot going on with Morse and Moore.
Morris got that body lock. He's going to step around. This could get interesting real soon.
Under a minute to go in the first period. Plenty of time. The stalemate's called. Let's go!
45 seconds left, first period. No score yet.
And how much of the first period, Dale, in your estimation, is it a lot of times wrestlers just trying to feel each other out?
Well, I mean, when you get 2 equally matched opponents, there might not be a lot of scoring, but somebody needs to be doing some damage in some fashion, wearing their guy out, working the head, forcing their positions. Typically, you're not going to see them stand around a whole lot. Just because they're not scoring doesn't mean there's not a lot of things going on with hand fighting or attempted offense. Ideally, you want to see your guys go out and know where they're the most comfortable, know where they can score points and force those positions. Now, Moore going upper body. Oh, Moore steps around, trips him.
And just before the first period ends, Jamel Morris, a takedown. The NC State coaching staff loves it.
He gets that body lock, steps around, trips him. That's great technique.
Morris ranked 12th in the current RPI, 9-0 in duels. He's 3-0 in HCC. And you look at his career, he's wrestled in 3 weight classes. Started at 125, then at 133. Here he is at 141.
Yeah, he's not a small 41 either. He looks strong.
He also won the Hokie Open this year at 141. Of course, that's how Virginia Tech started their season at the Berglund Center in Roanoke.
Ooh, he's into the body lock.
And more.
Inside trip. No change. Moore's wearing that tight waist from the top. He's got good pressure. He's going for a 3/4 Nelson. Moore's got some pin holds. He likes the pin holds.
Moore trying to make his move.
He's scooting out of his lap. That's a good leg defense right there. Crab ride defense.
And a reversal for Jamel Morris to go ahead 4-0. Morris going 23-5 last season at 133, and he finished 5th nationally with 10 Tech Fall wins. Wow.
Yeah, you can tell he can score some points.
Again, since coming into the lineup at 141, 6-0 in duels, 4 of those wins with bonus points. He's outscored his opponents 57-5. Hasn't allowed a point here yet to Mitch Moore.
He's also rangy, and you can tell he knows how to use that leverage. He's riding that ankle. Keep control from the top position.
And what we've seen going to 125, 133, and here so far 141, not only is NC State scoring points, not really allowing Virginia Tech much offensively.
Moore showing his flexibility there.
And he's going to hang on here as the second period ends. And it looked like Moore potentially was going to find some offense here, but
yeah, this is really good technique. He's trying to pull him into his lap, and he scoots outside the lap. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to fall back in between his legs. He does a good job of clearing outside of his hips, and that's how you escape that position.
So the riding time in favor of Morris at 47 seconds. Obviously the clock stopped at the moment.
Moore's got to use that underhook. See, he's got that underhook with his left side. Moore's doing a good job of tying up that other hand. That we call that the shooting hand. You tie that hand up, you can't attack with it.
Scoreboard update, North Carolina leading Duke 14-6. Again, that duel important because if the Blue Devils upset the Tar Heels and more chaos and parity ensues, but if North Carolina wins, then they'll be hoping for a Virginia Tech win so they can clinch a share. .48 seconds, and right now it's the redshirt senior Morris up 4-0 on Mitch Moore.
Yeah, Morris going for that Russian 2-on-1 right there. That's a good way to kind of control the tempo, run the clock out, get the win. Just trying to take control of the situation. Moore's has done a great job of just controlling this match. He's managed it well.
Jamel Morris, the redshirt senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a 4-0 decision, and he will tie this duel at 10. Tied at 10 as we step aside for a break. When we come back, 149 on ACC Network Extra. And welcome back live on ACC Network Extra alongside Daryl Weber, Evan Hughes. 10-10 is our score. And you look back at the dual meet champions over the last 4 years. Well, you're looking at the two teams right now. Just really another reason that shows why these two teams have become such rivals over the years.
Yeah, I mean, this means a lot to these programs. You know, it means a lot just pride state or the pride factor, recruiting, and just like I've been saying, just getting on a roll going into the postseason.
So to 149 we go. This is tied at 10. Tech won the first 3 matches, and then the next 3 going to NC State. 8th-ranked Justin Oliver, a graduate student, and a transfer in NC State, a 14-4 record, going up against Ryan Blees, a redshirt senior from Virginia Tech. Transferred in from Oklahoma State a couple years ago. And
yeah, Oliver came in from Central Michigan, and he was an All-American back in 2016. So he's a veteran. A nice underhook to single leg.
Quickly going ahead 2-0. He placed 7th in 2016. He's finished in the round of 12 the last 2 years, so he's been close. Taking a look at the records, both with 14 wins. And Blees, somebody who Tony Roby has been feeling like he's been wrestling well as of late. He was an NCAA qualifier last year, trying to get back in his final go-round.
Well, this is a good challenge for him right here. Come out and get a win against Oliver, that'd be big.
To work off the match. Oliver is 2-2 in ACC. He's lost to Fine Silver of Duke and O'Connor of UNC, 2 of the top wrestlers at 149
Definitely
in this conference. He's also the first grad transfer.
with nice switch action.
Picking up one on the board is Ryan Blees.
Oliver right back in on that single leg. He's getting to his feet. That's what you want to do. You want to escape the weight. Now he pops him up. He's got to protect his ankles there. Blees is going to do a good job of staying in the game right there by keeping that ankle. But when you hook, Oliver did a good job of hooking and isolating that bottom leg.
And 2 more for Oliver, staying aggressive. 4-1. And NC State has done such a nice job of answering. Going down 3-0 momentum, this crowd, everything in Virginia Tech's favor. And the Wolfpack very quickly.
Yeah, they're right back in the game, tied it up. Oliver's out here taking control of this match. Ooh, he's going for a rollback half.
Talking about common opponents for these two. Mentioned Oliver falling to O'Connor. Blees fell 2-1 in a decision on a hands to the face call late in the 3rd period. And one of his better matchups or duels he's competed in this year. Blees, a redshirt senior from Bismarck, North Dakota, where I'm guessing it might be colder there than it is in Blacksburg, Virginia this evening.
It definitely gets hot in the summer and really cold in the winter.
And Oliver from Davison, Michigan. It's a suburb of Flint.
Davidson High School is a powerhouse up in Michigan. Has been for a long time.
And speaking of Davison, Ken Morrow is from there, and he played on the 1980 Miracle on Ice team for Team USA. And get this, 39 years to the day, it was the Miracle on Ice.
Interesting.
How about that? So, one of the, take another look at some points from Oliver, but Miracle on Ice, definitely a favorite of mine. I don't know if you're a fan of that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie.
It's a great story. Back to the action. Oliver up 4-1. Had over 100 career wins at Central Michigan. Really a nice career, staying in state, then gets to go to a powerhouse program like NC State.
4-1, over 2 minutes of riding time, just in the 2nd period.
And this is certainly, again, just going off of projections and how coaches, think that some couple of toss-up matches and where they're favored in. Up next, if you Coach Papalizio of NC State. You've got Heidley, who's ranked 4th, going up against LaPrade. But then Tech comes right back with Lewis, McFadden to close. I mean, this is really shaping up.
I'm sure they're thinking they're going to get this one and the next one, and then on paper, Tech's got the 2 after that. So it's going to get interesting here.
It's almost like a fresh start tied at 10, like almost like a new duel.
Definitely.
At this point.
Yeah, it is. Every point's going to count here.
Blees fighting hard.
Blees on the tack. Well, a takedown would put him right back in the middle of this thing. See, right now, Blees gets a takedown. He's right back in this match. And Oliver gets a takedown. He really takes control. He takes it to another level.
And, of course, if you're NC State, you're thinking maybe bonus points.
Yeah, if he gets another takedown here at the end of before this period ends, you're definitely thinking bonus points.
Some nice defense from Blees as Oliver had a good shot. And to close the second period, 4-1 the score, riding time well over 2 minutes. As we go to the third period. And going back to last weekend, Blees was ranked 29th in RPI, which is certainly kind of right there on the bubble, but Coach Roby felt very good about his opponents coming up. He picked up a 9-6 decision over Jonathan Furness of Cornell. And then also last weekend, a 3-2 decision over Michael Murphy of UVA. So certainly giving himself a cushion. He's got plenty of opportunities still coming up with the ACC tournament.
He's trying to slap on a cradle right here. Came close.
A point awarded to Oliver to go ahead 5-1.
Oliver with another attack. Nice counter.
And there's 2 for Blees to try and help.
He's trying to let him go. He needs to clear out of there so he can't dive in on that leg and hold on. Blees still in control right now.
Well, it's important that riding time you start string going down.
Yep.
Has enough time if he could potentially erase it.
Still in control. Still in top position. Oh, and he cuts the corner. Got that cross face. He still needs to figure out how to score some points. He's got to clear out. When you try to let go of the guy, cut the guy, you got to get away from him.
He's cleared the riding time. And a point awarded to Oliver.
6-3. Oliver looking to cut the corner off Blees' shot. He's got that ankle. 15 seconds left. Nice shot. He gets knocked over, though.
And that'll do it. 8th-ranked Justin Oliver hangs on. Ryan Blees made it interesting down the stretch. But for the first time this evening, the Wolfpack have taken the lead in the team score, 13-10. And when we come back, you're not going to miss BC LaPrade, Hayden Heidley next on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back live on ACC Network Extra. And as you can see on screen, the dominance of the North Carolina State Wolfpack over the last 2 years. Just one loss by 2 points to Pittsburgh. I mean, that's just utter dominance right there.
Yeah, that's a great roll they're on in conference dual meets.
And you take a look at that one loss to Pittsburgh, 18-16. You know, one thing I think both coaches would probably recognize is that this conference continues to get better and better each year. And Pittsburgh's a team on the rise in the ACC.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's the top 4 teams in the ACC are all in the top 20. UVA is right outside that, so they're very competitive.
So here we go to 157, 4th ranked Hayden Heidley, a redshirt sophomore from Lewistown, Pennsylvania, going up against BC LaPrade, a redshirt sophomore from New Kent, Virginia. And LaPrade, one of those wrestlers where if he gets on a roll, he is tough to stop.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, Heidley's is a big favorite here, but LaPrade is very dangerous. He's got a high pace, so it could get interesting.
Heidley 17-2 on the year, 13-2 in duels. How about this? 43-3 in 2 years.
Yeah, he went into the national tournament #1 seed last year, made the finals.
Yep. NCAA finalist from a year ago and an ACC champion. He's 13-0 all time against ACC foes.
Yeah, I'm sure when the coaches drew this up, the NC State coaches are looking for bonus in this match, especially where Virginia Tech in the next 2 matches is favored on paper. They're probably looking for a little bit of a cushion.
You go back to last year for Heidley, 26-1 as freshman. Only loss was in the final to Penn State's Nolf. I mean,
so impressive.
I mean, incredible. And we've seen, it seems like in the NCAA tournament, a lot of, it's not just the upperclassmen guys anymore. It's the guys, it's the Heidley as a freshman or.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities for those high school kids to train at clubs and go to international tournaments. And, I mean, they can to regional training centers. There's so many opportunities.
And again, Diakoba Hollis, 33-1 last year. En route, torn his ACL in the middle of the tournament, kept wrestling. Just incredible.
Yeah, when I was going into college, it took a year or two for most guys to get used to competing against that level, but so many kids these days come in and they've been competing against or practicing with college wrestlers for years.
So under 40 seconds to go and not a lot of offenses.
Nice reshot by LaPrade. He's in a crackdown position. He needs to circle to the right. He needs to bring that right arm up. Cut him off there.
That's exactly what
Heidley's going to try to cut the corner. He's shelving it. That's a good technique to bring that leg up, shelf it, kind of lock his hip there. Now he's got to clear it across. Yep, just like that.
And he's got a takedown as this Cassell Coliseum crowd erupts.
He's got to stay tough. He's got to stay tough on top there.
Heidley escapes. And that will do it for the first period. BC LaPrade a 2-1 lead.
See, that's a big point there. If he keeps him down, he let him go with it last. It's a great takedown, but he needed to keep him down there. That's a huge point for, Heidley knows how to win these close matches. You can't give him those easy points like that.
Heidley,
not that he didn't earn it.
We'll start on top here. He went 1-2 at the U23 World Championships in Romania. Of course.
Yeah, he might be a sophomore, but he's a veteran. He's got a lot of mat savvy. He knows how to win tough matches. He knows how to keep the heat, the pressure on your opponent.
Well, LaPrade will grab the point right back to go up by 2. And they do share a common opponent on the year, as BC LaPrade, one of his top wins of the year was against the 6th-ranked wrestler for Old Dominion. He knocked him down. That was 2 awarded for Heidley.
That was great motion from Heidley. He kept moving, changing directions, kept LaPrade off balance.
Heidley falling to early of ODU 4-2 the decision. LaPrade picked up a decision over him at the Virginia Duels, so that's their one of their common opponents. 3-3, and again, this is very important. And an escape to LaPrade.
This is a big takedown. Whoever can get a takedown before this period's over can take control of the match. .34 seconds left. Riding time is not a factor.
Yep. Well, we've had a lot of close matches. This one might be the most entertaining thus far.
Yeah, these guys are getting after it. Shot attempt by Heidley. Prod fights it off. 9 seconds left.
And we'll head to the third period. LaPrade up 4-3. Taking a look, though, of Hidley, though, really a great move.
Yeah, he changed directions twice there, tried to sit him down. It wasn't going down, had to cut the corner. It was just good wrestling.
So Hidley will start on bottom. If he escapes, he'll tie it, and he does just that.
So tied up, 27 seconds riding time, so it's not a factor. LaPrade in on an attempt. Hidley fights it off.
Nice defense there from the redshirt sophomore. This one important. And again, NC State definitely, this is a match they kind of feel like, I think before the duel started, they probably felt good about this one. Of course, Tech, they're next to it, 165, 174. A lot of talent. This one's very important for the team score.
Yeah, this isn't settled yet. We got a minute left. Both these guys are getting after it.
Hidley being aggressive as LaPrade nearly turned defense into offense.
Yeah, he almost got the reshot off. This is big for LaPrade to stay in here against this caliber and of wrestler and stay in here and battle in a tough, tight match like this. This is what the coaches want to see. They want to see him win this match, obviously, but he needs to. This is a good battle for him going into the postseason.
36 seconds left.
Somebody's going to figure out how to win this match.
The coaching staffs are into it. The fans are into it. This is what you live for.
Ooh, nice
shot.
Got to finish that, though. Hidley did a great job of squaring up, fighting that off.
And
these guys are getting after it here. This is great wrestling.
And I think the crowd applauding both of them. Just fantastic wrestling.
17 seconds left. Tied score, no riding time advantage.
Could this one be going to Sun victory? Hidley nearly in on a shot.
Ooh, nice below the ankle.
Hidley trying to get a takedown before, and he does. Hayden Hidley, the takedown with 2 seconds left, and he holds off BC LaPrade. A huge match win for North Carolina State as they go ahead 16-10. 2 matches left to decide an ACC dual meet championship from Blacksburg, Virginia. Welcome back on ACC Network Extra, where this duel has lived up to all the hype. Wolfpack leading the Hokies 16-10. And a large part of the success of NC State wrestling has been because of Pat Papalizio. Of course, has done tremendous things with this Wolfpack team and has really elevated them beyond an ACC powerhouse into a national contender every year.
Yeah, I mean, he's the co-NCAA Coach of the Year last year, ACC Coach of the Year last year. I think 2016, I believe, he had the #1 recruiting class in the country, so you can see it's paying off. He's bringing some great athletes in there, and he's doing a lot with them.
182 and 80 in his career. But going back to the match, the duel, there's 2 matches left. Makai Lewis, the redshirt freshman, ranked 8th, who has not been taken down since his first duel of the year. If NC State gets one more decision, they're going to clinch it. But right now, Virginia Tech, their backs against the wall with 2 of their top wrestlers left. And there's a quick takedown. Lewis over Thomas Bullard.
Yeah, he's good. I'm sure Tech has talked him up before he went out there, and he's got to score some points.
He'll allow the escape. And, of course, Lewis made headlines at 2018 Junior World Champ. You've seen him wrestle. You as a defending national champion, what do you see out of Lewis that makes him so special?
Well, I mean, obviously he's quick. He's got a lot of great physical attributes, but he can tell he's got a tough mind too. You know, he's mentally strong. I've noticed he's progressed throughout the year. He's gotten better in some positions that a lot of freshmen kind of struggle at. So that's the big thing. You get a lot of kids that come into Division I wrestling that are physically gifted, but you got to have that mind, especially to do big things when you're this young. Nice shot right there. He's gone backside.
Last weekend against Cornell and UVA, Lewis had 2 major decisions. So on his 12 dual win streak, 10 wins have come by way of bonus points.
A nice finish.
I'll grab another takedown.
He's looking for back points too off there. 4-1.
And again, it's just so interesting right now, Daryl, because all NC State's got to do, they just got to win one more match. But if Virginia Tech, you're probably thinking you get one bonus point in decision, you're going to walk out of here a winner.
Yeah, I mean, even if NC State got one more win, just a regular decision, they could tie it up with a pin. So that wouldn't lock it up, but you're right, they would take control.
Take a look at that takedown from Lewis. You said he finished this well.
Yeah, he knocks him, just changes directions on him, knocks him back. Then you see his drive, and he's looking for the back points there, too. That's good. That's what you want to see. Minute 15 left. I'd be surprised if Lewis doesn't try to get another takedown here.
As Lewis now over a minute of riding time.
Well, Bullard's got his leg up. He's looking for the reversal.
Thomas Bullard, the redshirt sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia. He's 18-6 on the year, 11-5 in duels.
Wow, look at that flexibility and balance.
NC State thought there might have been a takedown, but not.
Oh, man.
(4-2) the score. Very entertaining.
Lewis's foot was over his head, I believe, at one point. He still defended that. .23 seconds left.
One thing about Lewis is he seems like, as he goes quickly in on a double leg shot, no points.
No points, 10 seconds left. Bullard's locked in the crotch there. Bullard's in position to...
And no points. And the NC State coaching staff all up off the bench. They're wanting points. And you mentioned it, Bullard was in a nice position there.
Yeah, he changed it around and almost popped up and got the takedown there at the end of the period.
And you can see the intensity on both these coaching staffs. That's what you got to love.
Oh, it's all on the line right here. They know it.
Not only is it the athletes, the wrestlers, it's the coaches, it's the fans. And escaping is Bullard. Cuts the deficit to 1. Thomas Bullard.
Nice snap.
As Lewis
shot up, it pops right up to his feet.
How will he attack this here?
The refs are going to be watching this close for potentially dangerous.
And if you're Bullard, what can you do here in this position?
Bullard's hanging on. He's doing a good job of kind of tying him up. See, he goes into this gator roll on the ankle. Ooh, he's getting back points right there.
Makai Lewis.
2 back points.
2. He's got over 90 seconds of riding time. And a challenge has been thrown by NC State. Coach Papalizio. That's our first challenge of the evening. We'll see if we can read lips here and see what exactly, as you see the head referee just saying that.
See the replay. I mean, he definitely was holding him on his back. He put himself on his back there. He's holding him.
What do you think?
I mean, it looked like the 2 to me.
Of course, this is. Let's take another look at this, a different angle. We'll show you what exactly the referees are looking at over at the scorers table.
Well, I don't know. He kind of gets off his back right there. He's held on his back there.
Bullard's hanging tough, though. I mean, against the
No,
talent.
he's being very stingy. You know, Lewis came out there and threw up some takedowns right away, and then he's not giving away any points.
Thomas Bullard, a 2017 NCAA qualifier. He redshirted last year. And actually, when he was in 2017, he was redshirting. They pulled him out in December, and he went 21-12, 8-4 in duels, made the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I remember him and his brother in Georgia in high school, and they were tough.
And you mentioned his brother Daniel. He's on deck at 174. They're both twins, matter of fact. So it's the Bullard twins to close things out for the Wolfpack here in Blacksburg.
Yeah, they got a lot on their shoulders.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an exciting time for the Bullard family. If they're
Yeah.
here or watching. And it looks like they reversed the takedown. Or was it the takedown or the back points? It looks like NC State is going to win the challenge. And you see Coach Papalizio clapping his hands together there. That's a crucial.
Oh, that's big. That keeps him right in the match.
And you see Tony Roby now at the scores table. He's wanting to get an explanation.
Oh, he's looking for time to put back on the clock.
And they do. So Bullard only down one. Keep in mind, 90 seconds of riding time for Lewis. .40 seconds in the second period as Thomas Bullard hanging tough.
A lot of motion out of Lewis there. He gets to the leg. He's got it up in the air. The Bullard's proven tough to finish, but he does a good job of knocking him down.
He's got two. You see the NC State coaching staff thinking maybe that was hands to the face. Lewis back in front by 3.
Bullard doing a good job of coming to his feet and getting out.
And he grabs the escape. And every time it looks like Lewis might try and pull away, it's Bullard right back and counter.
6-4. Lewis has riding time advantage at 142 right now as the second period runs out.
Taking a look at the takedown.
Yeah, that's nice. It's same finish he had in that one of the first period. Just knocks him backwards. Lewis up to his feet. Bullard trying to lift and return. Lewis out. 7-4 with riding time.
Then 2 matches left. Virginia Tech with 2 decisions could tie it at 16. Their backs currently against the wall.
These guys have been laying it on the line, all these wrestlers, all the way through. There hasn't been really any blowouts. Even the major decisions, the opponent was fighting hard at the end.
You can tell both teams want it.
Yes, they do.
Lewis
Nice
trying to turn
snap.
defense into offense, and he's got another 2 on the takedown, but then a quick escape for Bullard as they'll go off the mat.
Yeah, Lewis is thinking major decision right now. He's got to get a couple more takedowns, but
Taking a look at that takedown.
nice snap here, and he cuts the corner on him. That's pretty.
So 1:08 left with riding time. He'd be up by 5, and of course the major, you need to get up by 8 or more.
Bullard's doing a good job of jamming that underhook in and controlling the ties. It slows your opponent down. He's trying to jack him up here at double unders. Ooh,
Bullard
in on the single leg.
shot.
Wow. That was
Again,
a quick shot. Up to his feet.
and Lewis gets out of it.
Does a great job fighting the hands, getting that foot down.
35 seconds left.
Well, I tell you, when the match started, it looked like Lewis was going to get on a roll and maybe go for that major decision, but Bullard's done a good job of staying in there and battling.
Trying to potentially grab some points. He's got Lewis hobbling on one leg, and again he fights out of it.
The impossible leg there.
Lewis with 8 seconds. Point awarded to Lewis, which if he can grab a takedown in 6 seconds,
he can get it.
You see Tony Roby having that conversation you see on his screen. Critical seconds here at 165.
Oh, this could be big here.
Lewis. No points. No points awarded.
Bullard held on in the crotch
and
there.
Tony Roby throws the
challenge.
challenge all the way to the middle of the mat. And head coach Tony Roby will throw the challenge for the first time tonight. And this is going to be critical, this call. Again, to lay out the scenario, you see 16-10, bonus points to decision really puts 174 in a different position.
Yeah, this call could be the dual meet.
What do you see here?
Well, Bullard's locked in the crotch right there, so he doesn't give up control. I couldn't kind of see at the end there. If Lewis could have got behind him a little bit more, but locking in the crotch is gonna stall it out a little bit.
Again, he does have a minute 41 of riding time, so that puts it at 11-5. You need 8 or more to pick up the major. As we see the call about to be made, no points.
No points.
And that'll do it. So Lewis, 11-5 decision over Bullard. And just like last year, the ACC Dual Meet Championship is going to come down to one final weight class, 174. Don't go anywhere. You're watching ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to Cassell Coliseum on the campus of Virginia Tech. Last year, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State were ranked in the top 10. The ACC Dual Meet Championship came down to that matchup. It came down to heavyweight, the final weight class. It went to sudden victory overtime. And now we could be looking at, well, this is going to decide at 174. Taking a look at breaking ties in dual meets, and we might have to go down the list a little bit, Daryl, before we can really figure out who wins it.
Yeah, this is going to go down the criteria list a little ways.
And that is, again, so we've got David McFadden, a redshirt junior, ranked 7th, and a 2-time NCAA All-American. Going up against Daniel Bullard. If Bullard wins, doesn't matter, NC State. If it's a decision, it's going to be tied at 16. If it's bonus points, Virginia Tech walks out of here.
That's right. And these two have met. They met twice in January of 2017, and McFadden came out on top of both of those with bonus points. But that's been a while.
So here we go. One final match to decide who is the ACC Dual Meet champion or the co-champion.
I mean, Tech's got to feel pretty good. They got their 2-time All-American coming out in this last match. But Bullard's right in there, right in the low single.
So looking at the criteria, it does look like Virginia Tech is going to need a major from McFadden to win overall. If it does come down to a decision and tied at 16, NC State would win on criteria.
Bullard gets the takedown here. He gets the first takedown.
Big takedown.
With the double legs in.
We'll start climbing up some riding time.
Bullard's in a dominant position here with those double legs in. He's got McFadden on his belly.
You see Tony Roby yelling, "Come on, McFadden." Right now, is Daniel Bullard, the redshirt sophomore, is in control.
Looking for that power half, too. He's got that arm extended.
Stalemate called. And again, going back to the tiebreaker, it's that third line on the graphic you saw a couple moments ago. NC State leads 44-38 in total match points. That is what we're looking at.
44-38?
Yes.
So if Tech won by 7, that would put them ahead?
Yes, correct. It would have to be a major.
But if they got a decision by 7, that would give them one more point, right? So a 7-point victory or a major decision.
And right now it's Bullard in the lead. McFadden in on a single leg. Under a minute to go in this critical first period. It all comes down to 174.
Trying to dump him back. Gets the takedown on the edge of the mat. 50 seconds left the first period. 3-2 McFadden right now.
McFadden goes back in front. We're taking on a look.
Coaches are telling him to put him up. Nice dumps, cuts him back right there on the edge of the mat. That's good mat sense.
McFadden will try and erase some of that riding time. An escape for Bullard, ties it at 3.
McFadden on a reshot. Bullard got some tough defense here. He's like his brother. He's going to be stingy in there.
And the Bullard brothers really coming up big for North Carolina State.
Tries to cut the corner, but McFadden's trying to cut him off with that right arm. Looks like he got it. 8 seconds left. That's a big takedown. 8 seconds left in that first period.
Stalemate called with 3.8.
And this could be a big 3 seconds.
And unable to escape as Bullard, so a 5-3 McFadden leading after the first period. Take a look at that takedown.
Yeah, Bullard, they're tough with the defense. He tries to cut around the corner, but McFadden's pretty savvy. He knows how to cut him off at the pass there and bring that right arm up. Gather up both legs and get the 2 points. McFadden did a great job of defending the crab ride there.
Grabs 2 on the reversal. And an escape for Bullard.
7-4. Bullard with the riding time at 34 seconds.
Under 9 seconds to go in the second period.
Bullard with the shot. He didn't really set it up. He's doing a good job of defending McFadden's attacks, though. Oh, a nice reshot from McFadden. He's going to cut him back.
And another 2.
9-4. He's got the ankle trap there. The Tech coaches wanted to let him go, get one more takedown this period.
And there is the escape. David McFadden, the 2-time NCAA All-American. And Daniel Bullard, 17-7 on the year. The ACC Dual Meet Championship all comes down to 174.
9-5, 30 seconds left here, second period. Riding time is not a factor.
McFadden and
15 seconds. Bullard with the underhook there on the edge of the mat.
Off the mat.
6 seconds left.
Taking a look at the most recent takedown.
McFadden shelves it up and cuts him back. That's a good finish. He's done that twice in the match. Caution on McFadden.
So McFadden on top. And an escape for Bullard. Leading by 3, riding time a non-factor.
McFadden on the shot. Bullard being stingy with his defense. He's not giving anything up easy.
A minute 10 left. McFadden
wants to get the weight back up over him. Over Bullard. He's got to go backwards there.
Stalemate called. With 63 seconds to go.
Bullard really savvy in those positions. Bullard drives McFadden off. He's going to hit McFadden for stalling there. .44 seconds left.
McFadden
got a reshot. It's 9-6 right now.
It's Bullard just trying to hang on.
32 seconds left.
And in a situation where if this is the decision, then it'll go the criteria to NC State. $18 seconds left. $10 seconds. McFadden looks up at the clock, knows he needs to go.
Bullard in on the shot. 3 seconds.
And there's 2 for Bullard. Clock will sound.
We'll finish with a decision, 9-8 for McFadden.
Riding time is not a factor, but the criteria gives it to North Carolina State, and it is in the books. The Wolfpack, 17-16 on criteria, take home back-to-back ACC dual meet championships, 2018, 2019. And what
a battle up and down the lineup. Every match.
17-16, just as it did last year. It all came down to one final match.
Yeah, you could say the Bullard brothers kept them in there.
North Carolina State makes a statement here in Blacksburg. They pick up their first win in Southwest Virginia, in Blacksburg, since 2006.
Wow.
Well, Daryl, this was, we said it in the open. If this could live up to how it was last year, I don't know how you could, but they did it.
They did it. It was a battle all the way through.
In 17-16, the final score.
Went off of just the one major, right?
Yep. And 125 proved to be vital. Coach Papalizio.
And a lot of those guys that actually lost matches but kept them close, that went a long way.
Coach Papalizio will join us here momentarily. Post-match, 17-16. And again, it just goes to show the dominance of the ACC, but how close these two teams are. I mean, couldn't really ask for a more exciting way to close out the regular season of the ACC.
And those battles right there, getting ready for those matches, coming into this atmosphere, those type of matches go a long way when it comes to the postseason, being prepared for the big matches in the ACC championship and the NCAA championship.
And Daryl, certainly the front part of the lineup for NC State really proved to be vital. They went down 3-0 with 184, 197 heavyweight, and they battled back like champs.
One of their best guys.
Once again, Coach Pat Papalizio will come join us here on ACC Network Extra. An exciting win for North Carolina State. Back-to-back dual meet championships for the Wolfpack. And Coach will join us now live here on ACC Network Extra. Coach, first of all, congratulations. Hard-fought victory. Back-to-back years, it comes down to one match. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, this was a great duel. Both teams came out here wrestling extremely well, extremely hard. Great atmosphere. Hats off to Virginia Tech. Those guys came to wrestle tonight and got some really good momentum going on their side. And then the leadership from Sean Foss really is what we were looking for tonight, and he got things rolling back in our direction and got that major decision. And a little bit of momentum went our way. It was great to have Tariq Wilson back in our lineup. That makes a world of difference for us, having his confidence in what he's able to do. So this was a great win for us over a really good program.
Well, in the last two matches, 165, 174, the Bullard brothers really proved to be vital there for you down the stretch.
Yeah, those guys are coming along. You know, people sometimes count those guys out, but these guys fight extremely hard. They work extremely hard every day. They didn't get the win in their matches, but if it wasn't for them wrestling as hard as they did, you know, we wouldn't be in position to win on criteria.
Going back, again, back-to-back dual meet championships. What does this mean for this program?
It means we're heading in the right direction. You know, Virginia Tech over the last several years has dominated our conference. We've kind of closed the gap, and all the programs in the ACC are on the rise, and this is good for our conference and great for college wrestling.
And a quick turnaround. 2 weeks from now, you'll be back here for the championships. What's
Yes.
the next 2 weeks going to look like for you guys?
Back to training, getting everybody back to 100%, and coming here, obviously wrestling in a great atmosphere.
Coach, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
A great conversation here with Coach Pat Papalizio. Again, North Carolina State off criteria, 17-16, back-to-back ACC dual meet champions, as Daryl will join me back here post-match, post-duel, and taking a look at some of the final results. I mean, it really came down to how we kind of saw things shaking out.
Yeah, it definitely lived up to the hype. You know, I looked at that the lineup before we went into it, and there really wasn't many blowouts on paper, and everybody stayed in there and battled. Like I said, that's just great primer going into the postseason.
Yep, and you heard Coach Papalizio talking about fouls and the job he did at 125. That really set the tone and was the difference.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that was right after 3 losses, and he kind of had to pick the pieces up and get the ball rolling in their direction. He did a great job of it. Like I said, he's a senior, qualified 3 times, never got on the podium, so he's looking to do big things for sure.
And both of these teams will make noise at ACCs and the NCAAs.
Oh, yeah. This isn't over.
Well, this was a lot of fun, and as this is our final broadcast here on ACC Network Extra from Blacksburg, we're going to send it off. Thanks so much for watching, and for our entire ACC Network Extra crew, our terrific producer back in the studio, Amanda Rutledge, my broadcast partner, Dale Weber. My name is Evan Hughes, saying so long from Cassell. NC State, back-to-back dual meet champions in ACC.